Konnichiwa! It is I, Trunks of Steel. Let me talk to you. Today I just want to yap about something I've been seeing more and more of in my games. Now everything I say is coming from being a low elo flex player, which might as well be code for freaking Vanguard because nobody wants to play that role. I'm currently peaking at Diamond. Anyways, ladies, gentlemen, anything else, I think we got something of an epidemic, if you will. And that epidemic is the triple strategist epidemic. I've been seeing more and more people playing 3 strategists on their team, and I've been wondering if it's actually potentially a beneficial thing to Marvel Rivals. Normally people kind of view this in a very negative lens. I've seen a lot of different comps work that I wouldn't really expect to, like an Ultron, a freaking Rocket. Yeah, they actually managed to win with that comp. Although that might be because of the freaking recent patch that we've had with Rocket, and like I think he now gives some form of overheal for shields or something with his damage amplifier, but the damage amplifier is a little weaker now. Anyways, what I'm getting at is I don't think it's impossible by any means to clump up any 2 strategists together to make it work more times than not. It just might be unlikely to freaking see. I mean, just think about it. Do you really want, I don't know, a Strat Deadpool and a Jeff being your primaries? I don't know. I mean, the average team or player will probably panic and either ask one of them to switch or go to a 3rd strategist themselves. Which honestly I think is a fair response, because we have characters in the game who can just seem more traditionally dominant for possessing a big healing ultimate. You know, that's like such a big factor. They gain so much benefit just from that ultimate. Even with that being said, strategists have slowly been getting somewhat more and more of these healing ultimates, you know, albeit in smaller ways. I mean, we can think about that time they added the little puddle for Jeff. That wasn't always in the game. Even when he had ulted to chomp up people, I mean, you can heal his teammates, but nobody really wants that. And obviously, more recently, I kind of just brought this up. Rocket's ult can now provide some kind of healing power rather than purely just boosting damage. So what's my point here exactly? I think having no role queue and the choice to run triple strategies can be a good thing, because it can give players the opportunity to play some less picked, or honestly, maybe even less viable strategists when only 2 are ran. The main ones that come to mind for me being, in this instance, probably some people like Adam and Ultron. Now, I think a good Adam's really freaking nasty. It's just, more times than not, if he is like the 2nd healer, and I don't know, depending on rare or not, like, I feel like there's different classifications. You know, if it's not a Luna, Invis, Cloak and Dagger, I feel like there's like maybe one other I'm forgetting. If you don't have at least one of them and you throw in an Atom, it's just a funny kind of sight. And I guess that's like the differentiation between main healers, sub healers, and then whatever this like 3rd kind of weird category would be, which is kind of like, I don't know, they're the ones that really probably wouldn't get picked at all unless there is a 3rd one. Anyways, it may not feel so good when people continue to fall on triple strategists whenever they begin to lose. And the big point I see being made when people simply can just win because they can out-heal the other team through sheer survivability. And ironically, I think I don't think this is a secret by any means, but you know, running 3 Vanguards is a really good counterplay into 3 strategists. It's just very atypical to see people actually attempt this. I mean, good luck getting at least 2 Vanguards. It's not very likely. But another reason why I think it could be good in my head to run 3 strats and all that is because it's just a simple idea of like having players just have the freedom to play what they may want to. But with that being said, you can also make the argument that people playing triple strats are making it harder to play how you would like to with other characters, other roles. So I just want to kind of like bring up some of the solutions I've had in my head for quite some time. And I think there's probably like a solid 3 things that they could do, and they all have their own setbacks in my opinion. So you could do roll Q. It's probably like the most obvious and talked about thing, seeing as our competitor Overwatch has done that. But I feel like what we've seen is it can decrease player expression with team creativity and increase queue times, I imagine. That's what it's done in the past, at least. I think Overwatch is currently killing it right now, so that's really freaking sick. Probably because of this game. But anyways, I digress. The second one that they could potentially do, and I feel like it's something we're already kind of seeing, and that's really just decreasing the healing outputs that some of these characters like Invis or Luna's ults can do because of their duration. The main problem I can think of with this is that if they shift this too hard, is we could have a potential problem where characters are dealing way too much damage and there's no way to really defend anything from that. People are just getting wiped way too hard. So we gotta make sure we're not shifting the trajectory of the game too much, because if everyone is tuned down like terribly too much, we're just gonna have too much damage coming up. Anyways, my favorite thing that I came up with, like more than anything, I really kind of just wish the devs would just rework the strat kits. I know I say that like it's such an easy task. It's probably the hardest thing to do for so many reasons, but I think it would be so nice if this game just had strategists that had ultimates that weren't just simple, I don't know, AoE hills, and they function more on utility, like the way Rocket's old amplifier used to be, or how Adam can resurrect the whole team. I mean, they're just simply more unique to me. The thing about this, though, is it potentially also changed the game too much because of the same reasons I kind of just said. A lot of damage ults or even Vanguard ults can happen, just wipe people without some kind of strong defense for it. So there's a lot of things to consider. And one of those things to consider that I actually didn't mention, sorry, this is like a little bit after I recorded this, is that I feel like if you were to change some of these strats a little too much from the support ults, and their downfall that you get, unfortunately, is you might lose some players who have identified with these said characters, have gotten used to their kits and how they function, and this is a problem that you can have arise from any rework. They lose that sense of identity with the character, and you can also alienate your player base. So that's another thing to consider if they do decide to somehow go down a route where the strategists have more utility-based ultimates. I just kind of felt like yapping about this a little bit because I feel like people think of the triple strategist comp as purely negative, and what I want to bring to mind really is that you can play around it. It's just a matter of, do people want to play triple Vanguards, or do people want to just match it with triple strategists? I kind of think that's also just a little bit of the beauty in this and the fun. And I think we as a community probably could just be a little less hard on the oh god, I don't want to sound like I'm just freaking defending the developers or anything, but I really do think the balancing in this game isn't as bad as people kind of want to make it out to be, because there's just so many characters and so many things being said amongst the community, and they have years of, well, not maybe not years, but they clearly seem to have some form of a roadmap in mind of what they are doing, who they're adding. So there's probably some good reasons why they're making the changes they do. On the downside of that, I really do think that they're making some of the changes at times because they want to sell you a form of a skin, and then once they sold that, they'll freaking nerf the character. I don't know, I'm theory crafting right now. Anyways, this has just been something on my mind. Obviously, I kind of have a more positive view on this comp, albeit it still can be considered problematic. I do think the root of it comes really mostly from just how strategist kits work. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to do the like, the subscription, oh my god, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day.